it's fascinating to go back because I I need consent from everyone. So I got consent from my whole family to go back and do this certain house. And it was really fascinating to do it because I did everything. I mean, dowsing isn't just for the negative earth energies and the positive vortexes, but it's and the EMFs, but it's karma lines. And so when I went back and I did the house with the most trauma, um, I was only 3, but I remember it. I was outside of my body, like looking down on it. But I didn't know where it happened. And so it was interesting to have my whole family, like all of our karma lined up exactly at the same spot in the kitchen. I was like, there you have it. That's exactly where it happened then.
Welcome to the weekly transit. Interviews and conversations from an astrological lens. There's nothing more fascinating to me about this earth than the people who inhabit it. My mission is to create deep, vulnerable, and open conversations that invite our unique guests to share the arc of their ever-evolving journey through life, in the hope that their stories inspire and resonate with you, our listeners. I'm your host, Scott Tajarian. Welcome to the weekly transit. I am here with Jen LaCrosse. Jen is a Pisces Sun, why am I just drawing Aries Moon and and a Virgo Rising. It's like I'm nervous or something. I mean, it's like I'm nervous I'm going to get it wrong, even though I look at your chart every single week.
Often.
Yeah, exactly. Jen is a friend. She's a client. She is an expert dowser and feng shui expert, master dowser. I don't know how to put it, but we're going to get into feng shui and dowsing and what that's all about. I can't even begin to tell you how much Jen has changed my life. Wow. Jen dowsed my house where I live with Gabriella. She's helping us with feng shui. And I mean, you completely changed the dynamics of our relationship in such a positive way. Really cleared a lot of the stagnant energy that was existing between us in this house, and really created a sense of abundance for Gabriella. I mean, when we started working with you, I think she had like 5 clients she was seeing a week, and now she's like up to 26
Wow.
clients. So yeah, exactly. So
She's busy.
welcome. Yeah, and she's pregnant with twins. So there's
Yay.
that. So that abundance came into our lives as well. So I can't thank you enough for everything that you've done for Gabriella and me, Jen. So thank you so much. Thanks for
Oh,
being here.
thank you. Thanks for having me. And that's amazing. I didn't know that about the relationship part, that it
Oh
cleared
yeah.
stagnant energy.
Oh yeah. No, it definitely it changed things. Because when you came in, we were going through a really hard time with the decline of our sweet angel Maggie,
Mm,
and it was really really difficult. And it's just strenuous being a hospice care for
right.
an aging dog. So someone who is a part of Gabriella's life for 16 years.
Wow.
So to lose that companion is incredibly heartbreaking, and it's something that we'll continue to mourn forever. We're always going to miss her, but you really helped guide us through that period, and it is just to see how like powerful the work is that you do. Like every time, well, you doused our house and then we move around the metal rods, it's like Maggie or Gabriella, they would get dehydrated. They'd be drinking so much more water in the days following the work that you had done. So it was clear that there was energy work being done on our residents. It's kind of like if you've done Reiki or, body work, they always are like,
Mhm.
or massage. It's like, go drink lots of water because you're going to be dehydrated. That's felt like you gave our house a massage. And yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Yeah.
definitely drink a lot of water. And depending on the sensitivity, and the two of you are so sensitive, like you could
Hmm.
really feel the energy. So I would say that, I mean, out of every house that I've been to, the two of you felt it the most. So it was really
Wow.
interesting to watch that. And there are some people that don't feel it at all. It's like energy work, right? You go in for Reiki
Hmm.
and sometimes you don't feel anything, you fall asleep, but it works. You just
Hmm.
have to pay attention to what happens afterwards. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And
Yeah.
definitely drink a
Well,
lot
how,
of water.
yes, always, always. So how did you get into all of this? Like, take us back. Like, let's go back to the beginning. Were you always attuned to,
Hmm.
knowing that there was more going on than what we're experiencing in the 3D?
I would say yes, but it was a windy road, right? So
Hmm.
as it is for everyone. I mean, I was born into a religious family, and I knew there was something more. And yes, I went to church and I did all that stuff. But church didn't resonate with me. Like, I remember being really young and looking at people as they're, bearing their testimonies, and thinking to myself, how do you know this? And
Hmm.
even like kids my age getting up and saying, I know this church is true, and saying the same script.
Hmm.
um, I questioned it there, but I did believe, and then I rebelled. We're now in the teenage years, and then I numbed.
What was the religion? What religion were you
Mormon.
involved in? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's some beautiful
And
things, as with all religion, right? There are beautiful
sure.
things about it. And there
Hmm.
are, it's also um, an organization, and they want to keep you there. And there's, all the back stuff of it that I don't totally want to go into. But it's, yeah, sorry. What was,
Yeah.
how long
No,
was
I'm
I
just
there?
I'm just trying to
I was there through high school. The
So,
majority of
yeah,
high school. That's when I started to
okay.
rebel, because we had to go in the morning before high school. And I did not like
Oh,
getting up in the morning and going and then going to high school. And so, like, I started to rebel that then. And then I moved out pretty young,
how old were you?
16 or 17,
Oh,
17
wow.
maybe, 17.
And you went to
Um,
college, or were you like,
I no, I finished high school, but I was living at a friend's house.
oh, wow,
Yeah,
super rebellion. Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, and then it was partying, right? So then I numbed
Mhm.
for a
Mm.
very long time. And so
It's
then,
very Pisces of you.
very Pisces of me. Yes. It was
Yes,
way
yes.
easier that way. Like, la la la. I don't have to think about anything.
Hmm.
And then I quit. And that's when I started to feel it. And I started to kind of just meander down different roads of, this sounds interesting. I'm going to look at this. And then this,
So you quit drinking.
I
You
quit
quit drinking?
drinking.
Is it When
Yeah.
was this? How long
five
ago was
years ago.
that? Okay, so basically from like 16, 17 to your early 40s, you
Hmm.
were you were drinking and doing that kind of
Yeah.
stuff,
I mean, I had
numbing.
kids. And so it was like social and go and do this and go and do that.
Yeah,
But it was a lot of social, right? Like, it was
yeah.
often. And so then I quit. And then that was when I decided, well, that's when I had known before I quit that there was an issue with the relationship, with my marriage. And when I quit is kind of when it came to a head, whereas like this, it isn't working. You know, he's an
Hmm.
amazing human, but it's just not where I'm supposed to be.
Hmm.
Um, and so, yeah, went through the divorce, but all of it all along, I mean, it was pretty much COVID time, right? So I had plenty of time to kind of like meander down different roads of what's this? And oh, look at all these different goddesses and this, and you know, going down so many different roads. And I just kind of kept following the path. And with the divorce meant that I was going to need to work, right? And so I went back to interior design because that's what I was doing prior to children. Um, but I was now already immersed in energy stuff and
Mm.
spirituality and all of that. And so it was one of those, how do I bridge the gap and still do what I know how to do, but invite in this other piece that is what fulfills me, right? Um, and so yeah, so then Feng Shui for some reason was calling me, and I ended up learning that. And then,
So you had a background in interior design, and that was something that you were doing for work
correct,
prior to your marriage or during
prior
the
during
marriage?
during the marriage, but yeah, like
Uh-huh.
right out of college is where I that's where I started.
And did you go to college to learn to do interior design,
No,
or
I
did you
went to
kind of follow
college for art, for fine art.
for art?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. And
yeah.
where was this?
American Academy of Art.
Where is that?
I think they just closed actually. It's Chicago, San Francisco, and I think possibly another city, probably New York. So
Okay.
I went there and then I studied at the Art Institute and did some rock sculpting and
In
um,
Chicago.
in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you studied at the Art Institute after you went to the American College of Fine Art.
American Academy. Yeah.
American Academy
Yeah.
of Fine Art. Then you went to the
I
Art
went to the Art
Institute.
Institute, did rock sculpting there, and then I went to the Palette and Chisel, which is this great, I guess, school in a way or program. I don't know what you would call it in Chicago as well, and that was fine oil painting. And
Hmm.
so I was into the art side of things, and then we bought a house, and I was like, oh, this is fun. And so then I just kind of worked in that field for a very long time until I got pregnant with until I had the first child. I mean, I was running around very pregnant and still working.
Hmm. Doing interior design.
Yeah,
And then once you gave birth to your first child, then you became a full-time mom.
became a full-time mom. Yeah,
Hmm. And so your children got older. You started to realize the marriage was not working. You separated and you started looking for what's next. And you were still interested in, you were combining energy work and the home.
energy work and the home, which is kind of perfect if you look at my chart, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Tell me,
well, now I can't
what do you,
remember totally what it is. There's something Neptune in my is it Neptune in my fourth house?
Neptune
I'm
is in
used to
your
having
fourth
it
house?
up and I can say
Like,
this.
yeah. Well,
Neptune in
yeah.
my
So when
fourth
you're,
house, and then yes, you tell me.
yeah.
You're the
So
astrologer.
yeah. I wanted to see if you wanted to articulate it, but
Oh,
yes, Neptune is Neptune. You were born with Neptune in the fourth house, and Neptune is the ethereal planet. It's the planet that represents the unconscious, and the fourth house is the house of home. And then Neptune also aligns. You're a seventh house Pisces Sun, and the seventh house is the house of marriage. So like, being in partnership with, like, you're the interior designer, they're the client. or you're the Feng Shui expert, they're the client. That's how that works together. And then you're an eighth house Aries Moon, and the eighth house is the moon is the planet that represents the home, and the eighth house is the house of intimacy. So it's like being um, connected or intimate to those that you're working with within their home environment. They're letting you into this space where they might feel vulnerable because they don't know you, and
Hmm.
you come with that confidence of knowing what you know, and you help transform their lives through the work that you do.
Yeah, and I mean it's an intimate thing just being in someone's home, right?
Mm,
And everything in your home affects you. And so
yes.
it's really going through it all, as
Hmm.
much as you can, right? And making sure that it is in alignment with your goals and ambitions. Yeah. So it's a pretty
Mm-hmm.
intimate thing. And it's really them
Yeah.
being intimate as well, like with all of their possessions and what, um, do you love that possession or not? And if you don't,
Mm,
like, you might have to get rid of some memories because it doesn't
mm,
align any longer. And so it's really, yeah, it's a pretty interesting thing. And my teacher has a lot of stories about, some clients that really just they get defensive if you
mm,
say certain things, and so you it can be very intimate, as for sure.
mm. Well,
Yeah.
you have that Virgo rising that can be uh, very humble,
Hmm.
but also sees all the details of everything, and maybe you have a way of wording it that is shows humility, but also like you really need to get rid of this
Right.
thing,
Get rid of that shit.
but saying it in a very humble way rather than dismissive, like you
Yeah.
idiot, why are you keeping this,
Right.
so yeah.
Yeah. And I'm pretty, I mean, I would say my whole, I mean, it's sales, right? I guess is what I've been in my whole life, except for, when I stopped with the kids. But um, it's sales, and it's not sales in the way of you think of, salespeople. But I've always
Hmm.
been, for some reason, with all the jobs that I've had, I've always been like the top salesperson, right? And
Mm,
people would say, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm telling them the truth." Is what I'm
mm,
doing. They'd
mm,
show up somewhere and be like, and I'd say to them, like, "We don't have what you're looking for, but I do know who does. Go and get it over
mm,
there." Um,
mm.
and then
Wow,
they would come back to me, and then they'd do their
because
whole
they
house
trust
with me. And,
you. Yeah.
but I don't, yeah, yeah, it's kind
Wow.
of a fun thing. And so maybe it is the Virgo part of me.
Well, that's also the Aries moon because you're just very authentic. You're
Yeah.
not gonna try to BS somebody. You're
Heck,
gonna tell
yeah.
them, you're gonna be direct. Like, we don't have that. You can't do this, Go try this, go over there, go to this shop, buy it there. And they realize that if you're a straight shooter, that they can trust you.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
also you don't want it to come back on you, right? Like I don't want to push, say someone wants two chairs in a corner that it's going to look terrible in, and you just
Hmm.
can't fit it. I'm going to make more money if I sell them two chairs, right?
Mm,
But it comes back on me when they get their two chairs and they're like, they don't fit.
mm,
I'd rather just say, get one chair and then let's decide
mhm,
later.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah. So what came first? Were you into feng shui and then you got into dowsing, or was it the other way around?
It was Feng Shui first, and I first learned Black Hat, which is Western. And my teacher was in LA, um, and she was great. And she said she taught dowsing. And for some reason, I had known a little bit about dowsing. And I think I had seen something with the teacher that I ended up with. I feel like I saw something like on Mind Valley or something like that. And I was like, what is
What's
this?
Mind Valley?
It's it's where you can learn, like Udemy, but um, where you can learn certain things. You pay for it, and you get a
Okay.
class, but it's
Okay.
usually like some sort of
So it's
spiritual.
like a website,
Yeah,
Mind Valley.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. So I think something came up with that, and I think I booked something, and I didn't end up going to it because you had to like pick a time, and it was late at night, and yeah. But anyway, so I knew that I kind of knew a little bit about dowsing, and so the first teacher said she taught dowsing, and dowsing can be many different things. And so she was my teacher. My first teacher was using a pendulum and just dowsing for energy, but she wasn't
Hmm.
actually looking for geopathic stress or any of the negative earth energy, like the stuff that actually really matters. And so I finished my Feng Shui certification with her. And then I just jumped on to Marie Diamond's like quick basic dowsing. And as soon as I picked up those dowsing rods, I was like, oh, I'm
What
supposed
happened?
I'm supposed to be doing this apparently because this is not my
If
first lifetime. I mean, I picked them up and it was just instant knowing and
Yeah.
instant magic. Um,
Huh. What happened? What was the experience?
um, uh, Gosh, I was in LA at that time. I was doing, I don't think there's anything specific. I was doing the course, and it was just like as soon as they started to move, like it was just a familiarity to
Hmm.
it. And as soon as they actually started giving me the correct readings, um, it just feels familiar.
Hmm.
Yeah,
It felt right.
it felt right. It definitely felt like it
Yeah.
wasn't the first time I've done it.
Huh.
Yeah. So then I went
And
on to the
so
quantum certification, and dowsing has my heart. I love it.
what is the origin of dowsing? Where does this come from?
I mean, way, way, way back when. I mean, Druids. I mean, they used it back in the days of. I mean, everything like building. If someone is going to build the king's castle, right? They would douse the land, but I would say it goes all the way back to like Druids. And so, like
And so
Stonehenge, they doused the land. They looked for the positive energy. And we live in duality, right? So we have positive and negative energy. And so what I'm doing is I do find the positive energy in your house, but it's also getting rid of the negative energy.
hmm.
Yeah.
And what are these? Can you show what this looks like?
She glad I grabbed them
Yeah.
for the dowsing rods.
Okay. So you just hold those in your hands and they like spin around and stuff?
So I hold them in my hands, and I'm generally in a meditative state. But
Uh-huh.
this should still work a little bit. So then I would ask yes and no questions. So I
Uh-huh.
would say, am I speaking to Scott right now? And they open up for a yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
But then I could say, like, if I have it, I'm trying to think of something fun to do. So my dog is sleeping over here next to me. And
Uh-huh.
so I could say, show me where Luna is. And they,
Oh, wow.
whoops. I'm like, whoops, hit me in the head. But then they point
Yeah.
over to her, or show me where the
Uh-huh.
geopathic stress is, or show me where this
Mm.
is. And then they do spin
And
around as well.
what is geopathic stress? What is this?
It is a negative earth energy. It's pretty much water underground, like in the earth. And so
Uh-huh.
where two water lines cross, it creates radiation. And that radiation comes up into our homes, and if you sleep on it, I mean, it's detrimental to your health. It causes disease. It's
Oh,
pretty
wow.
gnarly stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. And we happen to be the only country that doesn't talk about it.
What do you mean?
They know about like dowsing and geopathic stress is really well known in Europe. And so
Oh,
school teachers either know how to douse or they rotate kids' desks. Doctors either know how to douse or they call in a dowser when their patients aren't getting better on normal protocols. Usually,
and what do they do with the dowser? They ask the dowser questions, or the
they
dowser goes to their house and
goes to the
says,
patient's
"There's
house.
geopathic stress in your house, and that's why you're sick."
Are you sleeping on geopathic stress? So they would go
Hmm.
to the patient's house and douse their room, and there's always geopathic stress there.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I was reading a book. It's called Earth Radiation, and it's 11,000 cases of geopathic stress um, and cancer or any other disease. So 11,000 case studies of it, and so this woman documented it all. And it's not just geopathic stress; it's negative Hartman lines, negative Curry lines. But she documented it all, like pictures, diagrams, everything. The book was written 50 years ago. And in that book,
Hmm.
it says the Western world is sure to catch on. 50 years ago. And here we are, and no one
Wow.
talks about it.
That's so
Yeah,
interesting. Wow.
it's insane.
It makes me it makes me think about my dad who died of cancer, and I just wonder, like, he lived in the house where I grew up, and then right after my mom and him sold that house and moved into another house, that's when he found out he had cancer.
Hmm.
And I wonder if, like, he moved to a place where there was geopathic stress. I think that I think that somebody else who I have to ask my mom. Now I'm curious because I feel like the people who lived in that house before my parents, like somebody had
Mm.
cancer there.
Yeah, so it I would say it takes about it's the 10-year mark if you're sleeping on it.
Oh,
Your body starts to break down because what happens is as you're sleeping, instead of rest
mhm,
and repair, your body's fighting
mhm,
radiation. So now your
mm,
body continues to fight this until your body wears down and can't fight it any longer. And
mm,
so my guess is it would be in the first house is where it
mm,
started if he lived there a
mm,
long time. And then when he switched over, that's when the cancer diagnosis came on. I mean,
mm.
I doubt it would be the first house if it was as soon as he pretty much moved in.
You mean the second
Or the second
house?
house, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
But here's the great thing
Mhm.
is if you know how to, if you can draw the floor plan of that first house, I can tell you.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
I lived there for 15 years. So, yeah, I remember
We
it
can
very
find
well.
out.
Yes,
We
I'm
can
curious to
solve
know.
that question.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So this is something that you're doing now. You're going into people's homes and you do it remotely as well as in person.
Correct.
And that's by getting the floor plan of the house.
Getting the floor plan of the house, the address, um, and then just the names of the people who are in the house. Because
Uh-huh.
certain things that I'm looking for, personal zones, which are emotional zones, um, every single human in the house has separate ones. So it's just knowing who's in the house and getting consent.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And then how does the feng shui play into this?
So what I like to do is dowsing. What it does is it changes the energy levels. So it changes. We're all living in negative houses because of
Uh-huh.
negative earth energy and EMFs and electricity. And so what it does is it when I douse and get rid of all of that, including the EMFs, it changes the frequency of the house from negative to positive. So then when you do feng shui afterwards, which is getting the flow of the energy around, you're flowing positive energy. So I prefer doing dowsing first,
Uh-huh.
um, to get it to positive energy. And I mean, it's super easy to do and it's makes such a difference in your life because we're sleeping in wherever we sleep, our bodies acclimate, that our energy acclimates to our houses. And
Huh.
so when you
Yeah.
go out into the world, if your house is negative, which most people's houses are negative, you attract whatever the frequency of your house is.
Oh,
And
wow.
so dowsing is, yeah, by far my favorite thing. And it's really, it makes a big impact on your life. Just the basic dowsing. I mean, quantum dowsing is a whole nother level, right?
What is that? What's quantum dowsing?
So quantum dowsing we did in your house.
Yes.
Quantum dowsing, gosh, it's hard to explain. Quantum dowsing after we douse the etheric body of your house, so the aura of your
Uh-huh.
house, and so we make sure that it's protected, that certain different layers of that aura are intact. Lots of times we have energy leaks in those. And then it goes, then I create an energetic pyramid in your house and an ascension point and open up a fifth dimensional portal, so the energy flows into your house. I mean, activate the planets. I do the feng shui flying stars monthly and yearly. It's a big host of things that I do. I mean, it takes a full week of meditation on my end and a lot of cures and a lot of rings, as you know, hanging from your
Yeah, so
ceiling, as you know.
explain what that is, cures and rings.
Oh,
So it's not like you're just doing something in your home and sending energy to my home. What
no,
is
no. So to get rid of the negative energy, I find where it's coming into the house, and then I place. It's kind of hard to see in this picture, but it's
hmm,
measured a cubit. It's ancient Egyptian technology. It's the only link that can be programmed with intention. And so these cures are copper and programmed to delta frequency. And so what I do is I go and find where the energy is coming in. I place this cure on the ground, and that stays. And then the energy rings. I don't know if I have one. It's copper, so this one is starting to not look as coppery. But these are the energy rings as well. And so these
hmm.
are essentially positive vortexes, once again, with certain measurements. Um, and so these can cure, not this size, but a larger size can cure negative vortexes. Um, and then I hang them from your ceiling with quantum dowsing, which
Mhm,
is fun,
mm,
um, for the portals that we open. But yeah, so it's in essence what quantum dowsing does is it makes your house more or less a pillar of light. I mean, it
mm.
raises the energy so high. And then what you do on the full moon is you expand that energy out and you can go, I mean, pretty close to 30 miles, depending on your home or how dense the area is. But you continue to expand that energy out, and then the collective can consciously or unconsciously use that energy and then eventually starts to wane and then you push it back out on the full moon. It's pretty cool
How do you do that? How do you
with
push
a
it back out with
meditation.
the flow?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll give a meditation to whomever's house it is, and you do it for the first 6 months on the full moon, and then after that, it's really like a tune-up every 6 months that you kind of expand it back out.
Did I do my
I don't
meditation?
know.
I don't
I was. I just sent
you,
you an
you
email.
sent me?
I just sent you an email. I'm like, Scott, have you been doing your meditations? I did.
I don't think so. I get so many emails. I'm just like overwhelmed. So you sent me an email with the meditation.
I did. I did a long time
I've got to
ago.
go through. I got to find that email. And can I start over
You can
and
start
do
over,
the?
and it needs to be the
Okay.
first 6 months. So it will be the
Full
next.
moon meditation.
Look at
Yeah.
that.
Here it is. Yeah. But okay, I see, but it says here's some photos with the oh, and then there's a m like a
MP3 link.
yeah.
Yeah.
So am I supposed to listen to that?
Listen to that.
Uh-huh.
And I think the
During
email
the full moon.
during the full
During the
moon,
full moon.
and
Okay.
since you're into the Feng Shui, face your success direction when you
Okay.
meditate.
Okay.
And then listen to it. It's really only about maybe 10 minutes. And you just
Uh-huh.
do it on the full moon, usually as the moon is getting close to like maybe an hour before the full moon. If
Okay.
it's if it's super late or early in the morning, then you could do it at least around 10 o'clock. Um,
And wait, wait, you're supposed to do it at night, you're saying? Or like 10 o'clock at night, you're saying? That's what
Usually you want to be able to see the full moon, right? So when the moon
okay.
is at its like most peak.
Uh-huh. So
So it will
I
change
am
every full moon, right? Because it's always at a different
okay.
time, but usually 10 o'clock, that 10 o'clock, if the full moon say is at 2 a.m., at least 10 o'clock would be a great time to do it. And then you can go to bed.
Okay. And I can start doing this now
You can
and
start
it'll be
doing it
okay?
now. Yeah.
Okay. I've got it
I'll
marked
text
here.
you next full
Yeah.
moon.
Yes,
Scott,
yes,
what you
please. I
doing?
I need I need that reminder. I need that reminder. I need to
That's
start
so
doing that.
funny. Did I do that?
Yeah. God, there's so much happening. So it's hard to keep track of it all,
I
Jen.
know.
So
You're busy. You've got
I
a lot
know.
going on.
I know. Yeah. 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 So wow. Okay. I mean, this is it feels like, next level stuff. I mean, I definitely have felt the changes. I'm just curious to know, like, what's going to happen now if I start doing this meditation that I've supposed to have been doing for the last 7 months or so. Um, yeah,
What more can happen?
yeah,
I know.
exactly.
It's magic. And think about it as you're doing that meditation. Just to, think about what your dreams are and throw it out
Mm.
there every single time.
Well, I love that you brought up the M word, magic, because I mean you're a Scorpio North node, so you're meant to be working in the magical realm.
I love
And
magic. I
yeah,
really do.
yeah. What do you love about it?
Oh, I
What
love the
excites you about
mystery. And I was telling you about my Shasta trip, right? Where
it?
the crystals disappeared from a bag that I 100% put them in, Virgo Rising, right? Like I put it back where it
Yeah.
belonged.
Yeah.
And I put them back and I didn't use them in the ceremony I was doing. And I went to, after everything was done, I went to go put the rest of the crystals back into the correct bags. And the 3 quartz crystals that I had put in the bag were completely gone. And so my what I love about it then is, I mean, it's so childlike wonder, right? So then as I'm driving down the mountain, I go to pull something out of my pocket, which had a sweatshirt tied around it. I
Hmm.
go to pull something out of my pocket, out of my right pocket, and um, one of the crystals was in there. And then when I got home, I went and grabbed the IDs out of my left pocket, and the other two crystals were in my left pocket. I mean, I
Wow.
love it, right? Like the mystery of it. And
What do you think that means? Was there a message that you're getting from that? Like, why was it in this pocket or that pocket? Why wasn't it in the bag where it was supposed to be, where you left it? What do you think the meaning of that is?
I haven't gotten very far on sitting with it. I think it's really interesting that the two smaller crystals were in the left, the larger was in the right. The two smaller crystals equal the size of the other one. So it was a very balanced. And so the only
Hmm.
thing that comes to me right now or right then at the time was masculine, feminine.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever know,
Hmm.
which
Okay.
just kind of makes it even more fun, right? Even though I want to know.
Yeah. What about the? You want to tell the story about the dogs, the wild dogs that you saw,
Oh
and
gosh,
that was kind of interesting.
that was a weird one. I went to Pluto's cave, and I
And that's near Mount Shasta.
it's near Mount Shasta. It's kind of out. I was coming from Oregon, and so it was on my way to Mount Shasta. But it's close to Mount Shasta. But it was out more like in a high deserty sort of area. It wasn't like a bunch of trees, right? So it was very deserty. There were juniper trees like here and there. And I pulled into, and I was going by myself on the full moon. And I pulled in to the parking lot. I was the only person there. And I got out of my car and I walked around to go put my hiking shoes on. They were on the other side of the car. And I caught something out of my periphery and I looked over and there are two very large black dogs standing under
No collars,
no
no
collars,
collars, no
no
leashes.
nothing, no cars in the parking lot, um, just staring at me under a juniper tree. And yeah, it was that whole situation was
And
weird.
what happened?
Um, so they didn't look mean. I do
Uh-huh.
like animals, and they usually like me back. And so, but it was a little nerve wracking. And so I got in my car and I closed the door. I had to put my shoes on anyway. And they trotted over, and they were probably, I don't know, 4 feet from me, under another juniper. I mean, it was 100 degrees. It was hot. And
Hmm.
so they came over, and they're just still kind of looking at me. And I put my shoes on, and I just looked out the window, and I just spoke light language to them, and they looked at each other, turned around, and ran off side by side. It was weird.
Hmm.
It was weird. I chat GBT'd that and it went, I did. I was like, what does
What did
this
it
mean?
say?
Like, because I didn't see
Yeah.
the dogs again.
Uh-huh.
Um, it's almost like they disappeared and they went down the trail I was going down. They said, I mean, it went into Pluto's cave, Hades, Lord of the Underworld.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then usually there are two black dogs, I guess, in myth that guard
Oh, wow.
the underworld. Um,
Oh, wow.
so yeah, so ChatGPT was saying that they were the guardians. I passed the test, I guess. I don't know.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And then
Wow.
yeah, I mean, they
That's
might have been what
interesting.
was snoring in one of the caves. I don't know.
What do you mean?
So then I went down to Pluto's cave, and I went. There are two
Uh-huh.
caves, left and right, and I went to the left cave, and and I got pretty close to it. I didn't go in it yet, and I heard really loud audible snoring. I was like, I'm not going in that cave. So maybe it was the dogs. I mean, they fell asleep really fast, but I don't know. Something was in there snoring, and I wasn't going to find out
Hmm.
what it was. So the right cave was
Wow.
really beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I know. I purposely went to Mount Shasta for some magic. I got some magic.
Mm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah.
So you're still studying feng shui
I'm now learning
and
the traditional Feng
from
Shui
Marie
from Marie
Diamond.
Diamond.
Marie
Yeah, which is a whole
and
nother ball game, right?
how so?
Um, it goes into, and this is kind of why I wanted to learn it, was Western is very cookie cutter, where your front door is always going to be the career area, right? And so
Mm.
that's what Western is. And so when you do traditional, I couldn't say that word right. Traditional, it's we're talking about the directions, and that felt important to me.
Mm.
And so it just depends on the direction where your house is, and how that lays out in your house. It's not just it's always the front door is a career. It just isn't. And so then it also goes into the personal energy numbers. And we haven't gotten into that too much with you yet, Scott, but that's
Mm.
where that's the most important part, at least. It's what my teacher says is if you
Mm.
focus just on your personal energy numbers, where your personal wealth area is in your house, even if it's in like the relationship area, but it's still your personal wealth, and like activating it as the wealth area. I mean, she says some big things can happen.
Mm.
Some big, amazing changes can happen in your life.
What is the origin of feng shui? Where does that come from?
Oh gosh. Um, you love the history, and that is so
Yeah.
not my jam at all. I'm like, I can grab the book and tell you, but
Okay.
because
Yeah.
it's
No.
like
No. It's all right.
China, and I don't know when. It's like I should probably
Yeah.
learn that better, but yeah,
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
remember which
Yeah. No. It's
empire,
okay.
and yeah,
Yeah. And so Marie Diamond, she's a really well known feng shui person, and you're
master feng shui and master law of attraction, master
mm,
dowser. Hmm.
and you're working with her and learning to become a master yourself.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
I mean, she's pretty dialed in and amazing, and she sees
Mm.
energy, which is my
Mm.
goal in life. Just so
Mm.
you know,
Yeah.
it's totally my goal in life, and I do think it's achievable. Haven't gotten there yet, but she sees the energy, so she makes these cures, and she makes these energy rings, right? I trust
Mm.
hers. Why? She can see the positive vortex coming from this.
Mm.
And so she has she has a leg up, right? Because she goes into a house
Mm.
and she can see where geopathic stress is coming from, or where certain things are out of order. She tells a story where her master was teaching her, in a small class, and it was, way before computers and all of that, or not computers, but before internet and being able to zoom on and everything. Like she went over, I don't know if it was China or where, but um, she would get tested, and she could tell by someone's personal energy number who was sitting at a desk facing the wrong direction. She could see the energy. And so
Mm.
it's super fascinating to me.
So what does that mean? Facing the wrong direction.
It's called your KUA number, so
Uh huh.
KUA, and you can Google it, and get it for free. And so it's your birthday, and if you're a man or a woman, and then you
Uh huh.
put that in, and it calculates it for you, and then it gives you your four best directions, and then your four worst directions. And so you always want to be sleeping, sitting. Like right now, I'm facing my wisdom direction. Like you always want to be facing or sleeping one
Mm-hmm.
of your good directions. If you're working, anything you're doing for 8 hours a day, if you're working, your success direction is the best place to have your desk facing out towards it. And so,
I'm facing my personal growth direction.
yes, so your wisdom direction. And so,
Mm.
so as long as you're, and that's the direction I'll be facing when my new desk comes tomorrow, I'll be
Mm.
still facing this same direction. Because sometimes you just can't put, you can't have your desk facing the power position, which is being able to see the door and anyone walking in, right? And you also
Mm-hmm.
can't have it facing, sometimes it just doesn't work that it faces your success direction. So as long as you're facing
So,
one of the four, yeah,
okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I'm doing personal growth is wisdom. That's what that is.
correct. So you're
Okay.
facing, a great direction right now, like to meditate,
Huh?
to work. I mean, you don't need to be facing success for work because what are you doing between you and your clients? Like it's wisdom that's coming, right? And so
Hmm.
it's a great place, like as you say, like I'm channeling things through. You're facing the correct direction for that.
So
Did I tell you that your garage is included, by the way?
yeah, you
Okay.
did.
How
Yeah.
tidy is your garage looking? Because I think that's your wealth. Is that your wealth, or is that your whole house wealth? I'll have to
I
look it.
don't
I'll
think
look it up.
the garage used to be wealth, but when you started doing
It,
the different
traditional, we switched it.
yeah. Yeah,
I think
it's
it's
no longer
your. I think it's your personal wealth.
my personal wealth is in the
Yeah,
garage.
yeah. We're gonna have to do some work in there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yay!
So, right.
Woohoo!
Now, when you say sleeping, if like so let's say personal growth is west, are my feet pointed west or is my head need to be pointed west?
Your head. So your head needs to be pointed one of your good directions when you're sleeping. And sometimes it doesn't work. It doesn't work in my house. Like it just doesn't. There's absolutely no other place to put my bed.
Cuz like I'm sitting here right now and I'm facing west. That's my that's my personal growth, my wisdom. But when I lie down like this, my bed
Yeah.
is in the same area. So I'm putting my head back. Now my head is east. The top of my head is east. My feet are west. So that means it's east,
So,
which is
yes, which is one of your bad directions.
yeah,
It's
that's
not one.
total loss.
Is it your total loss?
It's my total loss.
Oh, that
So
is your total loss.
I'm sleeping in the wrong area. So
Right,
and
but it's
Gabriella
Gabriella's health. It's
Gabriella
Gabriella's health, which is
yeah,
it's
so
perfect for her because that should be the number one direction you like if
so
you can choose one.
I need to sleep with my feet next to Gabriella's head, and she needs to sleep with her feet next to my head,
No,
basically.
yeah, nothing's wrong with that. No one will
Yeah,
look at you weird.
yeah,
Yes, if you switched around, but that's not the only thing that you can do. And we haven't gotten into like using cures for it.
okay. 'Cause I've got like 17 cures around my bed,
I know
so
you
like
do.
how many more cures do I need
Not that, so
around
there'd be a feng shui cure, which is a little different. But what I did, and what I mean, one of the best things that you can do is sleep with the larger energy ring, which I have underneath me. But this I usually have on my wall where I sleep,
uh
and so
Yeah, that
my
one's above our bed.
yeah, but that's being used for your cosmic portal. So
Okay,
getting another one
okay.
and actually like putting it on the wall and then use I don't know how to show you this, like putting it on the wall behind you and then it encompasses your whole body.
Mm,
Um It's not a super cheap way to do it, but that's what I'm doing, and that's what's
What do you mean? Those things are expensive?
this one is. This is an ascension ring. You wouldn't need this much power. I sleep with it, but most people,
How much
it,
is that ring?
oof, four,
Four
400,
hundred
four
dollars.
fifty. I'd have to look it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But a regular quantum, like if you got a regular quantum large ring, which is all you need,
Hmm.
um, you might be able to handle this. This can mess people up because it's a lot of energy. You start with a quantum for sure, but the large quantum ring is like in the $300 range. They're
Hmm.
amazing. I swear by them.
So I need to get one of those.
You need to get one of those. Pony up.
Okay. Okay. Well, you didn't tell me. You didn't
We
tell me I
haven't
needed
gotten
to
there
do that.
yet.
Okay.
We're like bickering like brother and sister.
You are like my sister. Yeah.
Uh, Funny. So that
Mm,
is one way that you can cure it. There are other things that you can do that aren't as expensive. And so what what else we will do in your bedroom now is, since you are I mean, that's the worst direction you can face is your total loss.
great. Awesome.
Right. Mine is, so they're kind of in numbers, right? Like they're in order, like where one of them isn't as bad and the fourth one is the worst. And that's total loss is the worst for sure. And so they kind of go in order on how bad they are for you. And so that's not a great one.
Hmm.
If you can switch around and you don't care. But what we will do is we'll activate your good directions in your bedroom and then every single one of your good directions. So we would go to each room and then we would do like a personal feng shui map for just that room. And we'd
Hmm.
activate it with what's really important for you in those areas. And then that will boost whatever is going on in a different area that isn't so great.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we have some
I
work
look
to do
forward
in your
to it.
room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Lots of work to be done
Lots of work to be
still.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It's crazy out there in the world,
It's
you
crazy. And
know?
the more that you know,
All
the more you
yeah.
know, the more you have to do. Right?
Well, I think that the more that you know, the more that it makes sense too,
Yeah.
you know? To me, like like when we just moved some of the furniture around in our house, it something shifted there.
Oh,
Like when
absolutely.
we, and even just like the other day, you told me to move a plant and I put it in this other corner, and Gabriella was like, "Oh, I really like the plant there." And
Mm.
I was like, "Oh, good. Okay, cool." Because Jen told me to put it there. So,
Jen made me move it. Glad you like it.
yeah, exactly. Because that's always my big concern is like I'm gonna move something, and she's not gonna like it.
Yeah.
It's like when I did the couch, and I moved the
That
couch.
was a
That was a
big
big
one.
one. Yeah, and she came home and was like, "Oh, I really like how this room looks now." I was like, "Oh, okay, good."
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it opens it up, and she is so sensitive to energy that it may be even she's feeling the difference when she walks in,
yeah,
which then makes her like it, right?
uh-huh,
And if she
uh-huh.
doesn't ever like it, just say, Jen made us do it. This is why.
No, because I can't say that because then she's gonna be upset with you.
Oh,
So
no, because we're
I'd
doing feng
rather her be
shui,
upset with me.
which is what she wants, right?
Well, it's always I'm never moving things. She knows I'm not just gonna move something around randomly.
Right. True.
She knows I'm only doing it because obviously it's because you told me to do it.
Yeah.
Like she knows that. I don't need to say Jen made me do
Jen
it.
made me do
Like
it.
she already knows it got moved because Jen told me to move it. So
Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So you're going to have a pretty dialed in house for some
Yeah.
twins to run around in,
I know.
right?
Yeah. Then I have to figure out their directions and
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. I know. I know.
Yeah. Oh
Luckily,
my
the only
God.
thing you really need to do is, I mean, I guess you would do a high chair facing the right directions for them as they
Yeah.
eat.
Yeah.
But it's the sleeping that's the most important. And I mean, I didn't know this with my poor children. Did not grow up with any of this stuff, right? And so
Yeah.
I wasn't into any of this. But Marie Diamond was saying that kids, and I think I told you this, Scott, kids, babies, they need to lay in the crib, one of their good directions, because she has seen what she sees, right? She sees energy, is the crown chakra. If they're laying in the wrong direction, the crown chakra starts to close.
Oh.
And so, yeah, I'm just going to trust that my children, I have no idea. Now I kind of want to go back and see where I had their cribs and how they were laying. And, but it's really fascinating.
I don't remember the direction I was in a crib because I don't remember those houses where we lived. But growing up now, I'm thinking about it. My bed was the exact same direction that it's in right now, where
Mm,
my feet, no, actually, it was the other direction. My head was on the west.
good.
My head was on the west and my feet were facing east. Yeah. So I was in the right position then. And then, man, I got to go through every single place I've ever lived now
I know.
and think about, yeah,
Well,
that
it's
is
all of it,
interesting.
right? Like, so even with dowsing, I went back to every single house I've lived in and doused them,
Mhm.
not doused them so they would change right now, but I doused them for the time that I lived there,
Mm.
because it leaves an imprint on your biofield, on your
So
aura.
is that like
It's
clearing your
clearing.
energy?
Yeah.
I want you to do that for me.
Yeah.
I want you to clear all my other houses that I lived in.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
like
want to
it's
do that.
removing a blemish or an
Yeah.
imprint that is sticking with
Yeah.
you, right?
All the trauma that
All the
you experienced.
trauma. It's interesting. And then you
Yeah.
just kind of wait and see how you feel. I definitely felt different, and especially the house where there is the most trauma, right?
Mm.
Um, I definitely felt a reprieve there, and it aids in forgiveness and it aids in so many amazing things. But I mean, forgiveness of self, or probably even thinking about it still, or,
Mm. Yeah.
yeah. It's fascinating to go back because I I need consent from everyone. So I got consent from my whole family to go back and do this certain house. And it was really fascinating to do it because I did everything. I mean, dowsing isn't just for the negative earth energies and the positive vortexes, but it's and the EMFs, but it's karma lines. And so when I went back and I did the house with the most trauma, um, I was only 3, but I remember it. I was outside of my body, like looking down on it. But I didn't know where it happened. And so it was interesting to have my whole family, like all of our karma lined up exactly at the same spot in the kitchen. I was like, there you have it. That's exactly where it happened then. Pretty fascinating.
The trauma happened in the kitchen?
That's where we all had karma lines. So I'm going to say yes.
Mm.
That would be what I deduce from it. I mean, I don't know. My parents weren't there. Um, but I'm going to guess that that's where it was because we all had karma there and it affected the whole family, right?
And so you had to talk to your siblings and your parents about dowsing the house that you grew up in.
Yes, consent is super important.
So if I wanted you to douse the house where I grew up in, you would have to talk to my mom and sister?
If I were going to douse for them as well. So
Okay.
as long as we're just dousing for you in other houses,
Mhm.
that's you're asking me to do it. That's your consent, right? And so
Right. Okay.
that's not a problem. If I'm going to erase it for other people, they
Uh-huh.
need to give consent
Oh, right.
because there
Okay.
can be, effects of it, right? You can
Yeah.
start to feel different. They may not want that. They may not even believe in it. So it's important. It's important to get consent.
I'm yeah. I'm really curious to learn about the house that I grew up in. I went back and visited there. It was it was maybe 7, no, it had to have been longer. It was maybe 10 years ago. 10 years ago, and the people that were living there were really kind. My parents built this house, and they were just like, "We feel the love in this house."
Oh,
There's a lot of we feel like there is a lot of love in this house, and we're like, "Oh yeah, there definitely was." A lot of love between my parents and my sister and me. And so it was a really special place. I mean, I
mm.
also experienced hard times there too, but yeah, I'm just curious to know. Yeah, so intrigued.
Well, and they built it, right? And so when you're
Yeah.
building something and you're loving it, right? Like
Yes.
our everything's alive, like our walls, everything's energy. So the more
Mm.
you pour that love in, the
Mhm.
more people when they come in or buy your house, they're going to feel it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Did they let
Yeah.
did you say they let you back in the house?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
we
Yeah.
went in the house and walked all over the place, and saw all the rooms, and
Yeah.
saw my bedroom, which was so tiny.
Oh,
And it's
funny.
so weird to, like, I'm like, wow, I can't believe I lived in a small room.
Funny.
It was really small, but when you're small, when you're a little kid, it doesn't seem small.
No.
But you probably couldn't fit you probably couldn't fit a king bed in there. There's no way. It's too small.
Yeah.
It was just a twin bed, little twin bed,
Little
uh,
nightstand.
in the in the corner,
Mm.
of the
Mm-hmm.
room. That's bad feng shui, I guess. Maybe that's why I never had a girlfriend in high school,
Yes, that
was
is. They
because
can't get in.
yeah, yeah,
Only one person
exactly.
can get in. Oh,
Yeah,
fascinating.
yeah, that is
Yeah.
fascinating. And so I always had, like, even in college, I never had a girlfriend, and I always had the bed in the corner, whether it was my dorm, because that's
It's
small,
always
and
small.
then living in, like, the fraternity house, like, it's a small quarters, and so you can't
Right.
just have the bed in the middle of the room.
No.
It doesn't fit. You have it pressed into the corner. So it wasn't until I moved to LA that I finally had a bedroom that was bigger, and I could kind of put the bed in the middle.
Yeah.
And that's when I finally had a girlfriend.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, college is a tricky one, right? And no one's thinking about the feng shui of it
No.
at all at that point, right? Everyone's like, "Where's
Yeah.
the next party?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I've got to go to class." Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's an interesting reflection. I'm sure there are things you can do, but generally in the bedroom, you want it very balanced. If you want a balanced relationship, you want things, which is really hard for the designer side of me, right? Like you want the matching side end tables, not one
Mm-hmm.
larger, not one smaller. Like they need to be the same size to keep the relationship as equal partners. So it's
Hmm.
pretty interesting. And it's a little
Yeah.
tricky in certain areas. I mean, even for my room, because there's a slider out. So the bed is slightly over a little bit more,
Hmm.
which would make a tiny bit less room on one side than the other. So it can get tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But ideally, you want the bed raised above the ground. You want nothing beneath it.
nothing
You
beneath it.
want matching nightstands on either side.
Hmm.
No fan above in the ceiling.
No, if you can go without a fan, it's great. If not, it's okay to have a very non-pointy fan and just don't use it at
Uh-huh.
night, which if you have to use it, sometimes you have to use it, right? But it's too much energy for sleep. So,
Yeah, we have a fan over our bed.
do you use
And
it?
so and when it's hot
Yeah,
in like
it's
the
hard.
summertime,
It's hard.
yeah,
And so
yeah,
sometimes you have to use it and just pay attention to
yeah.
your sleep
Huh.
and if you're not sleeping well. It's tricky because when I was in LA for those 8 months, I mean there was no AC. And so it got
Mm,
hot. And I was like, I have to use this fan. Like I just have to.
mhm.
Um,
Yeah, and did your energy change because of it?
I don't it's hard to tell. I wasn't really I was there for, supporting a child
Mhm.
with hockey, so I wasn't really working. So I don't know. I
Mm,
mean, I could go take a nap if I needed to take a nap, right?
mm,
Yeah.
mm. Right.
I don't know if it totally affected my energy. Then
Huh.
I wasn't thinking about it. Yeah.
What are some other, like, just sort of basic tips or tricks
Tips and tricks.
that you can share with the audience
Oh
for,
gosh.
like, feng shui or
Yeah. I mean, tips and tricks, right? I feel like, oh gosh, it's so layered. Um, I mean, kind of like astrology is, right? Like there's so many different areas, and then you can do something on top of that and do something on top of that. I mean, like the most important thing is the front door. So the
hmm,
front door is the mouth of chi. It's where the energy enters your house. So, like a quick tip would be make sure the front door is as clean as possible. Like schedule it in your calendar once a month to wipe down the front door
hmm,
because you're inviting in energy. And then it's hard to give too much more because I don't know which direction it's facing and which, but a balanced front door. So if you have a hanging pot on one side, try to do a balanced one on the other side.
hmm,
But the cleanliness, the entering of the energy, you want it to be as clean as you can.
hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if your house, if the street, let's see, if the street outside your house, if there's kind of a T street that
Mhm.
comes out and you're the house that it's aiming at, that's an issue.
So here's like in the neighborhood where we used to live, in Echo Park. It's, it's up in the hills, and there's this all kinds of like houses kind of crowded into spaces where there maybe shouldn't be a house there, but like, everyone's trying to live in the hills. So, and there's this one house, and this was before I even knew you, but I always used to think like this can't be good feng shui. It was like, so I mean, I know what you're talking about, where it's like the road drives right
Yeah.
into the house,
Yeah. And the
right?
lights
But
are always going into your house. And
yeah,
yeah,
like if somebody falls asleep at the wheel, they're going to drive their car right into your
it's a
house,
problem.
right through the front door. But there was this one house that was like on a hill. It was like on the side of a hill, and like the house hung on the side of the hill, but the road went like this next to the house, and the cars literally parked on top of the house.
Oh, yeah.
Like the driveway was the roof of the house, Like here's the hill, and like the house is like here on the side of the hill like this,
Yeah.
with like, kind of built into the hill with stilts or something, and the road was up here, and the cars would drive and park right on the roof of the
Oh
house,
gosh.
and then you take steps down to get to like the front door.
Yeah. So the front of the house is Phoenix energy. And so you want, when you walk out your front door, you want a phoenix to be able to fly out from there. So their
Mm,
front door had a mountain. So you want the mountain behind you as
yeah,
support. And then you need an
yeah.
area for the phoenix to fly in the front. And
So their door was like on the side of the house, wasn't really
okay,
the front, because the front of the house is looking out into the canyon.
where was
And
the
so
front door though?
there is no front door technically,
Oh, that's an
because
issue. Where does the energy
you,
enter?
I mean, because like you draw, I'm trying to remember this. I've walked by this house so many times, but like you would drive and park on the roof of the house, and then you walk down some steps, I thought, and maybe the door was to the side of the driveway, pointed back to the towards the road, or it might have been on the side of the house where you had to like walk down some steps in like a balcony or something.
Yeah,
I just thought that like parking your car on the top of the house probably isn't
probably
good
isn't.
feng shui.
No, no.
Yeah,
Even just having the road above. Um,
right.
yeah, it'd be interesting to see where that door, that front door was. I mean, because the landscape all matters, which I have a little bit of work to do here. Um, I mean, one of the biggest things is, I mean, one of the very first things that anyone can do in their house is if there's anything broken, fix it. And
Mm-hmm.
if it's not fixable, get rid of it.
Hmm.
That and clear clutter. Those are like the two biggest steps to
Hmm.
then begin feng shui. And make sure
Okay.
the front door is clean. In the bedroom, you want support. So make sure it's a big wooden supportive headboard. You want it to be above your head. Um, and then, yeah, learn your energy numbers and which directions you should be facing, and just start playing with
Hmm.
it and seeing what happens when you do sit down and eat and you face your health direction or one of your good directions. Like, just start playing with all of it, but clear clutter
Yeah.
and fix anything that's
Clear,
broken.
clear clutter. Fix anything that's broken, and if it can't be fixed, then get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I even feel like the neighborhood where I live now has better feng shui as a neighborhood than the neighborhood that I lived in Echo Park, because Echo Park, it's like the streets were really narrow. Like on trash day,
Mm,
the cans would be like in the middle of the road, or if it's not trash day, they're taking up space on the sidewalk. Like the neighborhood where I live now, there's the sidewalk, and then there's like garden or grass area, and then the street.
right.
So it's like there's space, and then there's homes on the other side with grass. Whereas like this other neighborhood that I lived in, it just felt really,
Crammed.
you know, tight, crammed in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was a lot of clutter too, like people's houses, just like what is this stuff that you're just holding in
Oh, yeah. People's
on the,
yards, like
yeah.
a broken down
If you want to,
car. And
oh
yeah.
my God, yes. Yeah. I actually saw a broken down car in my neighborhood now the other day. And Gabriella's like, that's not good feng shui to have a
That's so
broken
funny.
down car pointed at your house.
Oh, it was pointing at
Yeah.
your house or pointing at their
It's
house.
not pointed at our house, but at their house. Yeah. Yeah.
No. And even when you park your car, if you're parking your car in the driveway and there's a spot right in front of the front door, don't park
Mm-hmm.
there. Leave it open. Just park off to the side. But all of them are really easy things that you can do. Um,
And you don't want to be parking your car towards your house either.
you can park it towards your house. You just don't want it to block that front door.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you can
But what
park
if
it in
you're
the
parking
garage, it's great.
what if you're parking parallel on the street and the front door is back further?
That would be fine. I mean, as long as you have like
Okay.
10, at least 10 feet, it
Okay.
gives
Yeah.
enough room for the phoenix to fly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and the energy to still come in.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then another super easy one. Well, it's not easy; it's kind of a pain, but is your oven or your cooktop.
Yeah.
Keep your oven, your cooktop clean because it represents wealth.
Mm.
And
Okay.
so it's after every meal, do a quick cleaning of it. Yeah,
I need to go clean my
good.
stove right now.
And your front door, and do that full moon meditation, Scott.
Oh my god. I got so much work to do,
I'm
Jen.
telling you, the more you know, the more you have to do.
Oh my god.
Ignorance is
It's
bliss.
crazy.
Ignorance is
Wow.
bliss.
Well, and I'm a Taurus rising, so I just love things to get cluttered and, stacked up here, and I'll deal with it next year or in the next 10
Yeah.
years. That was my dad as a Taurus sun, Taurus moon. Like just our garage was a 2-car garage. And until I was driving, we could only park 1 car in the garage because my dad had like file cabinets and
Mm,
like a bench press and bikes and just all his tools and everything. And then when I turned 16, my mom was like, okay, well, if your son is gonna have a car, like you need to clean out the garage because I've been telling you for how many years have we been
16
living there?
years.
We've been living there for 12 years. She's like, I've been telling you to clean the garage for 12 years. So we're not going to have 2 cars in the driveway. So we can have 1 car in the driveway and 2 cars in the garage. So you need to clean
Good.
the garage.
Was
And
he a
so he finally
Taurus
went in
too?
there. Yeah, Taurus, Sun, and
Taurus, Sun,
Moon.
and Moon.
So
Yeah.
he held on to everything. When he died, and we went through his filing cabinet, we found like pads of paper from like 1984.
That's
It's like
funny.
literally like 25 years old pads of paper. Uh, you know,
That's funny.
just holding on to everything. Yeah.
That's my
So that
South
was the joke.
Node. Taurus South Node.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
I can find it sometimes hard as well as yeah, it's weird. It's like, but I should
yes,
keep this. I should keep this little piece of paper. You know,
yeah,
it's a
exactly. Yeah,
crazy thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's me too. I'm also Taurus South Node. So it's
Mm.
like it's been really hard with Gabriella because she's a Virgo moon, so she's, always wanting to get rid of things. And, you know, she's gotten rid of a couple things where I'm like, why did you get rid of that?
Oh, funny.
It's like, and now we're gonna have to buy another one. It's so there. I think there's a balance between
Right.
getting rid, and it's like, are you using this thing, or are you going to use it again, or are you just keeping it for some sort of sentimental value that doesn't really matter? I think
Yeah,
that's
and well, and it's being really careful too because people can, and I've certainly done this, and my mom's doing it right now, where it's like, well, what if I need it? But if you keep something that you haven't used within a year, including shoes, but if you keep something that you haven't used within a year and you say, what if I need it? What are you saying then to the universe?
what are you saying? What are you
You're
saying?
saying, if I get rid of this, I don't trust that I will be able to, that you will provide for me. And so it's a
Oh,
really interesting
oh,
mind
Yeah.
game,
Okay. Yeah.
right? And so if you haven't used it in a year, let it go. Most likely you won't
Uh-huh.
even remember. Or if it's
Yeah.
really hard for you to let it go, throw it in a bag, throw it in the garage,
Uh-huh.
put something on your calendar 3 months from now or 6 months from now. If it's still in your garage in that bag, throw it in the car and donate it.
Mm.
And
Okay.
sometimes it's easier, like the decluttering can be hard. And I'm a Virgo rising, right? Like I like it, but I also kind of like to keep things too with that
Mm-hmm.
the Taurus South node.
Yeah.
But it feels so good to get rid of stuff. But sometimes it's easier to have a third person or a second person with you, someone that doesn't
Mm-hmm.
live in the house, to say, do you love it? Do you use
Mm.
it? And really, that's it. Do you love it or do you use it? And if
Yeah.
it's neither of those, like say you're keeping a pot because someone gave it to you as a gift and you think it's the ugliest thing in the world and it's just not your taste, it needs to go. Like you want to love every single thing in your house and cherish it. And it's better to have
Mm-hmm.
less because every single thing inside of your house takes up energy. So I'm
Yeah.
not saying you have to be like minimalist, but it's better to have less and all the things that you love and extra energy for everything, including yourself, than to, have a bunch of pots under your deck and a bunch of these things and a bunch of gifts that you don't like. And um, even books, like books are hard for me to get rid of. And I keep
Mm-hmm.
going back through and like, oh, it's time. Like I loved this book and it's time. It no longer fully resonates with me.
Yeah.
But
That's the thing
sometimes,
about me.
I was just going to say,
Yeah.
sometimes it's easier to have
No.
another person involved. Even if it's like a
Yeah.
quick call to a
Well,
friend and they're like, get rid of it.
that's what Gabriella is for me. She's just always wanting to get rid of all my stuff. But the thing is like, I mean, she also admits like you actually don't have a lot of stuff because I'm a sixth house stellium, so I actually like being a minimalist.
I was going to say,
It's like
your
when
house
I
is kind of, you guys
yeah
don't have a lot in there.
no
It's really
no
beautiful and it's
yeah
easy. I don't know. There's something about
yeah
just walking into something where there's not a crazy amount of clutter.
hmm yeah. I mean, I when I moved in with her, I didn't have any movers. It was just like a carload of stuff,
Wow.
and that was it.
Yeah.
I didn't have. I got I took more card loads of stuff to the Goodwill than I
Right.
did to Gabriella's house when I moved in with her. So,
Yeah. Well, and you're
it
also
was
in
like,
LA, right? And so like
and you can't have a lot of
you
stuff
can't.
unless you're
You just can't.
you're living in a one bedroom
Right.
apartment.
For $5 million,
It's like
like you just can't.
no, that no, I was living in a one bedroom apartment and there's
Yeah.
not a lot of space in a one bedroom apartment. Yeah, if you have a $5 million home, then
Oh, I was
sure,
saying a
you can
one
have a lot
bedroom
of stuff.
apartment for $5 million in LA.
Oh, that'd be a pretty nice
That would be a
apartment if
really nice one.
you're
Yeah.
that would be a really nice apartment. You'd probably have a lot of stuff in the apartment, or you'd
Yeah.
have space to have a lot of stuff. So, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. It forces you a little bit. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, college, you don't really have that much. It's really like
No.
when you get married and you start having kids, and then all of a sudden you have a bunch of stuff. It will be
Yeah.
interesting to see how you both feel because now you'll have two, right?
Yeah.
With a bunch of stuff because you
Yeah.
need
No,
this
they're not
and
going
you
to have
need
any.
that. Well, they need a crib
They're each
and
going
they
to
need
have.
this and
Yeah, I
and then
guess they're
all
each
of
going to
their
have
aunts are
one.
going to send them gifts and they're going to be really loud and annoying and and they're going to be all
and
over the
Gabrielle is going to get.
floor.
And Gabrielle is going to get rid of all of them. They're
Yeah.
going to each have one wooden
Yes,
toy.
I agree
They're
with
each going to
that.
have one wooden toy, and that's it.
Yes.
That's what they're going to
Here's
have to
your
play
wooden
with.
choo choo. You get to
Yeah,
share them,
exactly.
children.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Oh,
No, I know.
funny.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, this was fun, Jen.
So fun.
Thank you for yeah, for sharing your wisdom and knowledge. Is there any like final like words of wisdom that you want to share? Like, why should somebody be doing
Mm,
this feng shui and dowsing stuff? Like, you know, if anyone thinks like that sounds crazy, like why would I do this? You know, I've got to sleep a certain direction. You know,
yeah. Um, I would say just even if it sounds crazy, at least, okay, so let's say with the feng shui, if it sounds crazy, try it. Try it for
hmm.
9 days. See if you notice a
9
shift.
days.
9 days.
Yeah,
Yeah, see if you
yeah.
notice a shift. Move something. Learn. You can
Is there a
Google a lot of
significance?
this, and maybe
Uh
you
huh.
move something into a certain area and just kind of see what happens and start playing with it.
Yeah.
Um, and then the
Is there a
dowsing.
significance? Is there a significance to the 9 days though? Why would someone wait 9 days instead
Yeah,
of?
with feng shui 369. I mean, they're universal numbers. They're important numbers. So at
Okay.
around that 9 day mark is where you will see a shift.
Okay.
You may see it immediately,
Huh?
but play with it and see. And then the dowsing, I mean, it's just a no brainer in my book. It's a no brainer because I mean, I don't want to totally say this, but I'm going to say it a different way. It shifts your energy immediately
Hmm.
from a lower frequency to a higher frequency. It
Hmm.
shifts everything. Why wouldn't you do that? You don't have to do anything.
Hmm.
Like you just call me up and it's not that expensive. You just call me up and say, "Hey, I want to even just do my bedroom, which is the bedroom and work area is the most important place because you spend the most amount of
Yeah.
time there." And so just making sure that you don't have geopathic stress that you're sleeping on is huge. It causes
Uh-huh.
it causes disease. But as far as like the energy thing, like why would everyone's trying to raise their frequency, right? And they're
Yeah.
doing all this work and they're doing this meditation. Like, how easy is it to just boost your house?
Yeah.
And then your body
I think
resonates.
yes.
Yeah,
I really feel like it makes a difference, and even just like my sister lives in the Palisades, and their home survived, and they had just remodeled it, uh, and so they had rebuilt it with fire resistant materials,
oh
but
wow, I didn't know they
uh,
did that. So they
yeah,
did it before the
but
fire.
yeah, I mean, because they were
Fascinating.
remodeling it,
Yeah,
so but I went over to their house and I did like energy work on their house before, you know, right when they moved in. And I remember being concerned about their house like when the fires were happening, and then
right.
I woke up like a day after the fire, 2 days after the fire started, and I was like, no, I did energy work on their house. It's gonna be safe,
Yeah,
and it was. And so um
it absolutely
it
matters. And even Marie Diamond, she said every single house in LA that was doused, most I think probably by her because she's in LA right now, right?
huh?
Every single house that was doused made it through, even if they were the only
Wow.
one on the block.
There was another interesting story that happened with another fire. It was the huge Malibu fire. It was like the Woolsey fire, I think it was called. This was maybe 8 years ago. And uh, I went to this woman's house in Malibu with Gabriella. Uh, we did this thing called combo, which
Mm-hmm.
is where have you heard of this?
Prague.
Yeah. This was
Yeah.
yeah, this was our second date.
Oh
We
wow.
yeah,
Let's
she's
go.
like, "Do you
Like,
wanna go do do you wanna go do combo with me?" And I was like, "I've always wanted to do combo. I'll go do it with
doesn't
you."
it
And
make
so
you throw
we go
up
to
and
this.
everything?
Oh, yeah,
Happy
yeah,
second date,
it's like
honey.
Yeah, totally. It's like an instant fever. It feels like you get the flu for 20 minutes. You get sick, you throw up, you're
Yeah.
sweating, then you're freezing cold. But the woman who was facilitating the ceremony said, you when you're done and the ceremony's over, you take your purge and you pour it out at this tree, which is like at the boundary of the home. She's like, when the fire happened, all the homes around here burned. The fire stopped right at that tree.
Yeah.
And you could see there was no other houses around except this one house. And the fire line went right to that tree where everybody
Yeah.
had dumped their purge. And so, like weird stuff. Like,
It's
in my sister's house, there was this day where, what were we going to say?
oh no, it's legit. Energy
Yeah.
works. Yeah.
I did this thing at my sister's house when it's a couple months after they moved in, and my nephew had lost this ball, and he was crying and he was all upset. He's like, "Oh, where's the ball? Where's the ball?" And we're looking all over the house for the ball, and we can't find the ball. And finally, I said, "Carrie, watch this." And I was like, I do this thing all the time. Whenever I can't find something, I ask Dad. I say, "Dad, help me find whatever it is." And so I said, "Dad, help me find his ball," and and sure enough, within like 2 minutes, I found the ball. And everyone was like, how did you like, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just, he listens to me and it just drew my intuition. I found it. Like, where'd you find it? I was like, it was in his closet,
So
in this
funny.
basket in the back of his closet. It's like the one place nobody had looked,
Right.
and it was right there. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I don't,
It
there's
works.
definitely something to it.
Yeah.
Yes,
And if you
yes.
listen, right? And so quieting
Hmm.
yourself to listen, to ask, and
Yes,
then to listen,
yes,
and then just follow where your intuition guides you. Like, yeah, that's cool.
yes. Yeah.
It's your
Hmm.
party trick.
Well, yeah, it's my party trick. Yeah. That's astrology. Astrology is my
True.
party trick. How can people connect with you if they want to work with you or connect? Where do they find you?
They find me info at indigomoon.com or sorry, indigomoonhome.com is the email or the website's
Indigomoon.com is the website.
indigo. Let's start this over.
Indigo,
Indigo.
indigo.
Okay, let's start over. Oh my gosh, I'm laughing. Indigomoonhome.com is the website. Let's just leave it at that.
Yes. Let's leave it at that. And they can contact you through the
They
website.
can contact me through the website. Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Awesome, Jen. So great to have you here.
So
Always great to
good.
see and connect with you.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yes.
Scott.
Thanks for sharing your knowledge. You're welcome. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Weekly Transit, interviews and conversations from an astrological lens. This episode was produced by me, Scott Tajarian. Music written by Ben Leinbach from Listen Deep by Amber Herzog Lyman. If you're interested in being a guest on the Weekly Transit, you can email me at scott@theweeklytransit.com. Wishing you all the best as you ride the planetary waves.